KD Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with Connie Harge. What's up, Connie? Ramal, what's up? AK 1978. What it do? Sooner than you think, sooner than you think. That's right. The year I said it, t-shirts are on their way. That's right. They're coming, they're coming. They should be here by tomorrow. Maybe before the end of the day. What's up, 6'2" doll? What it do? Son of the God, Steph Bell. Fam, this is going to be a very important live. I know some of y'all are looking at, okay, like my man earlier, who's that said that regular stuff? Ramal said regular S-H-I-T, right? Regular, right? But this ain't going to be a regular, it's not going to be a regular live. In fact, I'm going to save some lives with this information I'm about to divulge. You dig what I'm saying? So check this out. Let me put up a pic of Boosie here. So Boosie goes on his live a couple of days ago. He jumps on live to drop some comments about a car show that he was to perform at, where a couple of murders took place before the actual event started. I want y'all to take a look at something right quick. This is the advertisement for the concert, the pull-up car show. So it happened on August 10th, 2024 in Pacific Junction, Iowa, which is about 24 minutes. It's about a 24-minute drive northeast of Omaha, Nebraska. So it's a day filled with packed cars, muscle cars, drag races, and live performances is the way that it was billed. I see a guy named Rich Factor. I see it was hosted by Josh L. I know that ain't stupid. Stupo, okay. Okay, then Rob 49. And I'm just reading what the flyer says, right? You got Boosie Badass. Buy tickets now. 129 Speedway, Pacific Junction, Iowa. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. midnight. For more details, dial 402-306-5571. I don't see any other graphics or text about anything else. I don't see anything on this flyer that says it was going to be a shootout. I don't see anything where it says wear your vest. Be careful, be extra careful, because it's a damn fool on the loose. She's going to be shooting. I don't see any of that. Now, of course, it's easier for some of us who have already lived our lives, as far as like those getting those young days out of the way, where you're hanging out all the time and going to all of the popular spots and all of that type of stuff. Hey, just stay out of the way. Just don't go to that stuff. Don't go to anything. But remember, we did the same thing. Is it worse than it was back then? Perhaps. But there was always a chance that if you went out to the club and you was a teenager and you're going to these type of events, that something could happen. And something did happen before, actually, for one of our shows in Oakland. We had a show in Oakland in the early 90s, and before we could actually pull up to the venue, there was a shootout and somebody got killed. It was gang related. It's sad to say, but as somebody said earlier, it is regular shit. This is regular stuff. This happens, with youngsters. This is why I'm a big fan of venues who have decided that, no, we're going to start at 30 and up. We ain't letting no youngsters in here. 30 and up. Because you don't want to have to close your business down because you're trying to sweep up blood, or you're trying to mop blood up off the floor, or off the sidewalk, or on the street. People running for their lives, people just coming out to have a good time, but the uncivilized mutts are running amok. And they're looking to harm somebody. They don't really care nothing about life. They have a very low opinion of themselves. And they're just looking to hurt something over anything. The trip part about it is this, fam. On a personal note, I can find a whole lot of things to run down on somebody about. There's a lot of things that go on in this country. There's a lot of uncivilized mutts in this country that really, really make life hard on people, on just regular people. If I wanted to get down on somebody, I would just try to put some type of purpose behind it. Especially if I'm gonna go down for it. If I'm going down, man, let it be for something that I can hold my head up to. Not just because I just pulled out a gun and just started shooting folks. Now, we don't have any further details about why the shooting even occurred, but we already know, fam, whatever it occurred over, it was nothing. It didn't even matter. We know that for a fact. Because these youngsters throw their lives away every damn day over nothing. They hit that courtroom and they start talking to that judge. They start trying to explain what happened. Sometimes they don't even remember exactly what transpired before they started shooting. They just know they pulled out a gun and started shooting. Boosie continued after the shooting. He talked about going to an after party. He was letting people know the party going down in downtown Omaha. He didn't give a lot of context, but he said the party going down in downtown Omaha. I'm gonna tell you something about Boosie, fam. If he don't do nothing else, he gonna party and he gonna get his money. The biggest loss is the loss that the families took. The loss that the two guys that got killed, I heard that they were friends, the guys who got killed. I believe one of the names that people were saying was Marcus or something. But he got killed along with his friend. Guarantee you, fam, guarantee you, it was something that was so trivial that it's going to cause the judge to be extra hard on the person who did it, because these type of shootings always get solved. when you commit like a brazen act of violence like this at a jam-packed concert, oh, they're going to find you. They're going to get you. Guaranteed. Not to mention they got cameras everywhere to assist them. So they destroyed 2 families, and at least, well, 2 people was, I think they said 3 people were shot, 2 died. So destroyed 2 families. I don't know how bad the other person was injured, but at least 3 families have been destroyed. At least 3 lives have been destroyed. Let me tell you something, family. Yeah. Okay, they say the guy name was Marcus Johnson. Let me tell you something, family. I'm not going to sit here in front. I will destroy something. I ain't going to in front. I will destroy something. But if I destroy something, it's got to be with a purpose. It's got to be something that I would stand on 1,000 times. I stand at the top of the highest mountain and say, yeah, I did it. Yep. And I'll do it again. Obviously, I would want the court to have mercy on me. But if I stand on it, I stand on it. That ain't something I want to stand on. Some of the times when I was packing that thing back in the day, man, and, you know, things could have got real nasty and it didn't. Boy, I'm so glad it didn't, man, because I would be embarrassed over some of the things that I was tripping over. I would be embarrassed to allow myself to be put in position, to put myself in a position where I'm around uncivilized much that could potentially derail my future. I would be embarrassed because I consider myself to be smarter than the average person. The average person is dumb. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, fam. The average person is dumb. The average person. They ain't got too much sense. The average person thinks on a very rudimentary level. The average dude out there putting a mask on, sticking guns in people's faces, shooting in crowds, they're really slow. Because they don't think. They don't do no thinking. They think just what they're going to do. They don't think about what the next person is going to do or what the law enforcement is going to do. Just because you don't see law enforcement does not mean they're not going to pay you a visit. Does not mean that they're not somewhere working on a case against you. Just because you don't see law enforcement does not mean that they don't see you on the block, right on the corner, putting stuff in folks' hands and getting money. They see you. It's just that they got bigger fish to fry right now. And when they get ready, they're coming to get you because you're not going to stop. This looks like a fun event. The pull-up car show. You got Boosie. What else you need? Boosie like to have fun. It's a good time. What else you need? You try to keep your kids in the house. That's a very thin line. If you don't allow them to get out and have fun like you did, go to concerts, go to parties, You can't live your life in fear. So you can't just let them not go anywhere. If you do that, it could backfire on you. They could rebel to the extent where they don't respect you. You start getting into it with them. Even though you're trying to save their life, they can't appreciate it because all they know is that you're trying to deny them something that they want. So you got to try to give them as much game as possible and be as strategic as possible about where you let them go to have a good time and who you let them go with. That is very important. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, the people you hang out with are going to determine what your future looks like. In most cases, the people you hang out with are going to determine what your future looks like. This is why two damn fools can't hang out together. Somebody got to have some sense. If you are a damn fool, you need to hang around with somebody who has some sense. Somebody got to talk the damn fool off the ledge. If both of y'all are damn fools, all you're going to do is enable one another. Two crash dummies waiting to crash, just and pumping each other up, inciting one another, complimenting one another on dumb stuff. Somebody got to have some sense. When you see ruckus going on anywhere, I don't care where it is, you go in the opposite direction. You don't go towards the ruckus to get a better view. You go away from it because you don't know when somebody's going to pull that hammer out and start shooting. And the greater distance you are away from that person with that gun, the better your chances. The farther distance you are away from that person with that knife, the better your chances. I don't know if I could have went to an after party after two people just got killed at a show that I was at. I don't think I would have been in the mood to party. I got it. Get your money, get your money. I got it. But I don't think that getting my money would have been that concerning to me at that time. So it's definitely different strokes for different folks. Nowhere on this flyer does it says, prepare to be shot at. Enjoy shooting at such time. Fireworks, nothing. Nobody. It's not even a hint that somebody's going to be shooting. They didn't even say fireworks or wear vests. Be careful. Nothing. Just the pull-up car show. When having these type of events, and I'm not saying that this is the case here, but these type of events are supposed to have any event really is supposed to have a certain amount of security based on how many people show up. One cop per 100 people or 50 people, however many, whatever. You're supposed to have police officers. Those police officers can't necessarily stop murder, but they do deter. Average person will not pull out a gun and start shooting if they see a police officer standing nearby or in close proximity, right? So to get in these type of venues, the venue owners are typically strict on promoters, making sure that they have sufficient security. Don't know if that was the case here, but I can tell you this, as someone who has promoted these type of shows in the past, I can say that security, proper security, has always been as important or even more important than the money I make. I want to get my money. I definitely want to make money. But it's always important to have sufficient security to make people feel safe and for people to be safe. So I'm wondering, did the promoter do everything that he could possibly to make sure that that happened? Some promoters out there, they just want the money. They don't care about nothing but getting that money. This promoter loses the back end, the front end money, because Boosie didn't have to perform. But he'll probably try to keep the money because there was a performance did take place. Boosie just didn't perform. So the people got a certain amount of performance, but you know that they came there primarily to see Boosie. So I'm wondering how that's going to work out. Sometimes the promoter will refund people's money. Sometimes they won't. It depends on how much hell people raise and whether or not the promoters still got the money. Sometimes the promoters take a loss. They don't really have the money. The most important thing when you're having an event, it's not how much money you make. It's how good of a time your guests have. That's the most important thing. I've hosted events at the Toyota Center. I've hosted events at Arena Theater. These are places in Houston. I've hosted events at the Bayou Center. Hell, I hosted an event at Madison Square before. Security has always been my top priority. I want to make money, but man, I do not want people to get hurt at my event. The first and foremost thing that I focus on is people having a good time. I want to get my money. That's the first thing. Let me back up. The first thing that I do is figure out how to make the money. I want to make some money. That's the first thing I do. I try to figure out how to make the money. But then I make sure my priority, once the event is set to go, once we got a green light on the event, my top priority is for people to have a good time. That means that people come and they leave like they came, in one piece. That is my top priority, always. So if you're just not joining, fam, was talking about the shooting that happened at a car show concert in Pacific Junction, Iowa, that headlined Boosie, where 2 men were murdered. Another person was injured. This all happened before the concert ever began. Shots were fired in the parking lot. Two men, both in their late 20s, from Omaha, Nebraska, died in the shooting. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain unclear. The concert was shut down, and of course, Boosie was bombed. He took to IG explaining that he was waiting for hours for his performance and didn't seem aware of the shooting. Boosie tried it, rallying his fans, saying to keep the party going at a nearby nightclub. As far as the shooting, authorities say an investigation is underway. Let me reiterate that they are going to catch the people who did it. Anytime you have a brazen act of violence like this, they always catch them. Partly because the police want to reassure people that it ain't as bad as that, where you just have people just lawlessly, taking life. But another part of it is that cops want to be the only ones to be able to brazenly take life. They don't need no competition. I'll put a link in the description just in case y'all want to check out the video of Boosie explaining. Let's see. Whoop. So there's a link to the video. Or you can just go straight to my IG page and the video is there. Or did I put the video on my page? Let me see if I put that video there. I guess I didn't. Well, what damn link was that? Okay, that was a link to something else. Let's see. Okay. Looks like I failed to put the video up. So let me correct that issue right now.
Hey, they just.
So this happens in Iowa, out of all places. This lets you know, fam, that it can go down anywhere. The U.S. overall is just, it's not really a safe place. You can't really say that this is a safe country overall. Like I've lived in a safe country, right? U.S. ain't it. If my family was not in the U.S., I wouldn't be in the U.S. I'm gonna tell you straight up, fam. If my family wasn't here, if my family and my closest friends wasn't here, I wouldn't live in the U.S. Yeah, there's some other dangerous places, and I just wouldn't live there either. But I damn sure will not be living somewhere where, you every day, all day, you're on guard. Even if you live in a gated community, you have to have your doors locked, and you have to have that thing close by and be ready, because you never know when you're going to have to bust. You never know when you're going to need it. You can't go to the gas station. You go to the gas station, you watching your back. You got to lock your doors, because just that fast, somebody will hop in your car and take off. So while you're pumping gas, you got to have a thing on you and be ready. Got to have your head on a swivel, walk into the store, walk out of the store, getting into your car at a shopping mall, anywhere. You could be at the police station. Wherever, you got to always have your head on a swivel, and it don't matter what city you live in. Yes, some of them are worse. Some of them are better than others, but anywhere you go, you can get it. And then you have some of these uncivilized mutts out here who actually brag about it being harder in their city, like their city being more real. Anybody can get it out here, man. We don't play. We don't call it. They call Nebraska. They don't call Nebraska. Some of these people in Nebraska they don't call it Nebraska. One of the nicknames for Nebraska is Nebraska. They call Nebraska Nebraska. So we have these little corny names and stuff for these cities. Nebraska ain't the only state where people say that type of stuff at. You can go it's a lot of states and cities, they have these names like that, like Chi-Town, Chirac, all that kind of stuff. But you got people that's proud of that. Like it's some type of, like you get some type of medal of honor, for killing your own people, for being a dangerous city. Like your city, somehow you get tax incentives or something. Like somehow your mama, your daddy, y'all get some vouchers or something, or you get to have a bigger tombstone or something. They act like you're getting points. You get points for being uncivilized. See, when you raised a certain way, fam, when you raised a certain way, and when you raised the wrong way, a lot of times in your mind, everything right is wrong and everything wrong is right. You just live life backwards. Everything you do is backwards. You can get on social media and see some of these people, how they talk, how they move, listen to them, watch what they do. Everything they do is backwards. They go into relationships. The woman trying to act like a man and the man trying to act like a woman. They starting off backwards. Kids ain't got a chance. Kids ain't got a chance in hell. Miss Jazzy is in the house. What's up, Miss Jazzy? What up, Gwen? Bishamu. Bishamu, what's up? Nine times across your head. Be of many arts. Angela Datanek. Chris Smith, what's up? Moses, Stan the man, what's up? Let me tell you something, family. If you got a hot head and you want to be free, you don't want to become a legal slave in America again, it would behoove you to not put your hands on a gun because you don't have the temperament. It's way too many people out here with guns who don't have the temperament. And it's not just people that's from the hood. Let's get that straight. It's a whole lot of suburban people who look down on people in the hood because they see people in the hood shooting and doing all this crazy stuff. They actually think that they're better, but they're the same people. They got the same type of mentality. They don't have any patience. They don't have they don't have a rational thought in their body. They don't have a rational bone in their body, a rational thought in their head. They're bankrupt of logic, and they got guns, and they think they're special because they ain't never really been in no real trouble, or they got some money and they live in a better neighborhood. They think that they're better, but they ain't no better. That's why they always end up getting in a jam, going to jail, thinking that they special, pulling that gun out, don't know when to use it. Well, y'all going to target practice, y'all need to be reading the laws and understanding the codes. Because not understanding the law when it comes to self-defense in this country can get you in a whole lot of trouble. You ain't never been in trouble before in your life. You've been looking down on everybody else, been going to prison. You've been thinking they, whatever conditions they have in there, they deserve it. Well, guess what? Now you get to have a firsthand experience on what it's like to be a convict. Never thought you'd be that way. Never thought you'd end up in that situation, but now you see yourself there. Now what you gonna do? I don't know how many people I've actually ran into who ain't never been in trouble before, got themselves in a jam, went to prison and said, man, I never thought I'd be in this situation. I always thought, never me, never me. And look what happened. The lovely tigress. Kales, what's up? A few more shout outs and I'm done, fam. Per Pure Michigan. What's up, Pure Michigan? Mario Gibson. Franco Miles. What's up, Franco? All right, fam. If you are in the Houston area on September 9th, or even if you want to come to H-Town, come on down and check out the podcast live and in person. I'm also doing a book signing. Yeah, fam, it's going down September the 9th in H-Town. In the Galleria area is where the venue is located. You can get more information on willied.com. Go to willied.com and check it out, fam. Get your tickets now. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I just try to be calm as an OG in these situations.
I think you did a remarkable job. What's up, family? Monday, September 9th, H-Town, get ready. I'm coming. I ain't playing no game.
Sometimes we are still in love, but we may only speak 10 words to one another that day.
Willie D, y'all. It's been a minute, y'all. I'm still in it, y'all. Critics, y'all.
Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity.
That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.